What's up, everybody? Welcome to another podcast edition of the Boston Globe Sports Report. Today is Wednesday, May 6th. I'm Ben Volin. There is one story right now in the sports world in Boston. It is the Celtics' shocking loss to the Philadelphia 76ers in the first round of the NBA playoffs. To break down everything going on Celtics now with that series, with their future, we're going to bring in two guys who know way more about the Celtics than me. Gary Washburn's been covering the Celtics, NBA columnist now for 17 years for the Globe. And then Chad Finn, Globe Sports columnist, has been living and breathing Celtics for, 5 decades now, Chad? So you guys have such great insight. There's so much to break down with this team. First of all, today, Wednesday, we just heard from Brad Stevens this morning at 10 a.m. over at the Auerbach Center. Gary, you were at that press conference. The general theme I got from Brad was massive disappointment about how the season went. They need to protect the rim better, get stronger on the inside. They need to be able to create more shots. But he doesn't foresee major changes, which to me says he doesn't foresee changing out the coach, doesn't foresee changing out the superstar players, and doesn't foresee making major changes to the play style. Do you think that's an accurate read of what he said today?
I think that they're going to make some changes. I think Brad is kind of sly with his language in terms of what he wants to do. I think they're going to look at everything. I don't think they're going to trade one of the Jays, but I do think they're going to rebuild the structure around them. They need to get a productive center. Kata was a great story, and it was an awesome, kind of thing in terms of a gap year and watching a guy who was waived by the Sacramento Kings of all teams, turn himself into a starting NBA center, but in comparison to the elite centers of the NBA, the Embiids, the Towns, he just couldn't stay on the floor and he couldn't compare. They've got to improve in the paint. They got to get easier points. So I think the consensus I took from Brad was we've got to get better. We've got to get more athletic. And I think that he kind of emphasized Philadelphia deserved to win the series. It wasn't a fluke. It wasn't we got cheated. It wasn't the officiating. It was for the Celtics. We got beat by a team that basically caught on to what we were doing, and we couldn't stop it. So what do you do there? You improve the roster. You make some tough decisions. You probably move a guy who might be rather popular in the city, but you get younger and more athletic, and you kind of turn the page and change some things. And that includes probably changes on the coaching staff, maybe additions there to give Mazzulla some more structure.
What do you think, though, Chad, about a team that this is now the third time in 4 years, you mentioned this in the press conference, third time in 4 years the Celtics have lost a playoff series where they were the favorite. Also, this is something I looked up. The Celtics have now lost their last 3 series that have gone at least 6 games. The year they won the title, it was all 5 and 4 game series. When they get punched in the mouth, when they get challenged, they have now lost 3 in a row. Is it wise to keep bringing back this leadership structure? Do you think they need some changes there?
What do you mean by the leadership structure?
Well, whether the coach or the players.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just – it sounds like they're going to be moving a lot of pieces underneath them, but what about the guys at the top?
Yeah, I think Joe needs more flexibility. I mean, he's going to win Coach of the Year most likely, right? Don't you think he'll probably win it? Yeah, and that's just going to prove beyond any doubt before that it's a regular season award because he got his lunch handed to him in this series, especially in Game 7 where starting Ron Harper, who was a G League guy for the better part of the past 2 years, he looks like a good player, but you don't start him in Game 7 with a lineup where these guys have never played a minute together. I wouldn't call it panic, but it was a really bad decision. And when you're citing Malcolm Butler not playing in the Super Bowl against the Eagles as a comparison, you know it went wrong, and it backfired immediately. They were down 9-0, 17-6. That's on the coach. So he needs to grow. He needs more flexibility in what they do with their offense. I wrote about it the other day. I don't mind the threes for the most part when they're in the 30s or the low 40s. Every team in the league shot 33s a game this year. But when that's your entire offense, or the other aspect of it is Jaylen and Jason going one-on-one where they don't really play off each other, it's more my-turn basketball, that's ugly, and it's not really effective. They've got to upgrade their offense somehow, and Joe will be the guy to do that. As far as Jaylen Jason, I think they look at everything. I don't think they ultimately trade somebody, but they'll check in on Giannis probably, right? Or they'll see if there's somebody younger out there.
Yeah, they'll kick the tires.
Yeah. I kind of wonder about the draft, Wash. Like, it's supposed to be a really deep draft. I know they don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, there's two ways to look at a draft. Like, the cost it will be to move up will be heavy, right? Because it's so many guys in the top 15. But
really well regarded.
If you can get but you could also they got Peyton at 26. There's a kid, Corey, the Stanford kid who's actually from Nashua, who is a point guard who averaged 23 points a game in the ACC this year. He's a one and done. He's projected to go, I think, 28th. If he's there, right, you got to get more athletic. You saw
little mock draft preview here.
Yeah, you saw Tyrese Maxey just able to get to the rim at will unless you put two defenders on him. Those two baskets in Game 7 were basically Philly was Phillying, right? They were basically handing the game to the Celtics, and the Celtics couldn't hit a three because they took all of them when they were down 1 point. And he got to the rim 2 consecutive times and kind of settled things down. Like, the Celtics don't have anybody who can just get to the rim at will. Not even Jaylen and Jason. Jaylen's power.
He has to work for it.
And Jason's a little bit more grace at using his length. They got to get more athletic. Derek White's not athletic enough. Peyton Pritchard's more of a, kind of a little engine that could. Like, they've got to get some dudes on this team who are like freaks. And I'm talking about athletic.
Well, we all talk about the big, but they were a guard short, too. I don't know if Simons was the answer, not trading him to get under the second apron, but it was basically Pritchard and White. And
it was bad. Like, yeah, you're right.
White was the worst shooter in the league this year, percentage-wise.
Like White just never got his – and then the one thing about White is he's 31 years old, right? So you got to ask yourself, is he hitting – like, not everybody's freaking LeBron. Not everybody's going to play at a high level up to 40. Okay, is he losing something? And 2, at 31 – his overt kind of body language is just terrible. Like, when he
gets down on himself,
and it's just like, Derek, fake it. Like, just quit. Right.
You're an Olympic gold medalist and an NBA champ.
Yes. As a rookie, I could understand that.
Pop's not yelling at you anymore.
10, Derek, damn it, just quit putting your head down after every missed shot. Like, come back and make a play. And he's done that, make a play on defense. But even in that game, and everybody's, Derek was much better in Game 7. He was 5 for 16 from 3. He was terrible in the third quarter after a good
1 for 7.
Yeah, so if you look at the Celtics, like, they're flawed. And then trading Simons, who I thought was marvelous. He fit into his role.
Tried to do the right thing, right?
He didn't complain a bit. And he scored 27 points off the bench in his last game as a Celtic.
He won games for them.
And you literally move him for Vucevic, who – a great guy to deal with, a total professional, but at 35, and the fact that he couldn't hit threes, like, now he's going to stretch the floor and he's going to take and beat away from the basket. Yeah. How did that work out?
The last I saw, he was 7 for 24. I don't know.
He hit 7 threes in 6 games. Like, that's not the floor stretcher that you need.
All right, guys, I want to go back to Joe Mazzulla for a second. A guy who's been catching a lot of heat. This was not the first series that they did not change their tactics. He's been very stubborn about, launching the threes kind of no matter what, and eventually, it's all going to come out in the wash. It's all
the math
game,
yeah.
So he will not change his strategy. Had no answers for Joel Embiid. Had that wacky starting lineup in Game 7. I don't mean to sound flippant, but what does Joe Mazzulla bring to the table that the Celtics, as a coach, that the Celtics are so adamant that he's the guy moving forward? If he's not this brilliant if he's not the if he's not the tactician,
I'll answer it.
What's your thought?
I think he's a very intelligent guy. The players love playing for him, and he puts players.
That's what I would have said.
His player development this season was beyond belief. Ugo took a step forward. Jordan Walsh took a step forward. Baylor Shireman, like, all the young guys took a step forward. Ron Harper, they all took major steps forward in terms of helping this team. The question is,
I would credit the organization
Yeah, but
the structure.
I'd give him credit for that.
But I'd give him credit for putting players in. But there's also another side. His wackiness in terms of like, hey, Ugo, we're just not going to play you for a month.
Right.
And we're there every night. Okay, like you can look at a guy and go like, that dude's just playing terribly. Like Ugo wasn't playing terribly. He just decided I'm going to play Jordan. So you take Ugo for the last month, and then when do you put him back in the game?
Yeah.
Game 7. And then he plays well. He tried. But those 6 young guys that you put in were 0 for 12 from the field. They didn't hit a shot. So Mazzulla's got to get over this kind of like, my way is the right way. That's why I think they need to add to the staff.
Flexibility.
He needs someone who holds him accountable, like an old vet, like I was saying, or like a bench coach for the Reds, like a guy who's been there, been through the wars, but it's just, Joe, don't do that. Nah,
isn't Sam supposed to be that?
He's supposed to be, but I'm not sure what his role is. And the rest of the guys, good guys, they work their butts off, but they're Joe guys. Like they're guys from West Virginia. Like they're there. Like, hey, your job is to work Sam Hauser out before the game.
Right.
Yes, sir. They're 15 minutes early, leave 15 minutes late, but Joe's making all these decisions on his own. Like, that's got to change.
So Mazzulla, the 3-point barrage strategy that they employ, Mazzulla, I assume, is just executing the organizational philosophy. Do we think Brad Stevens is as inflexible about it as Joe Mazzulla?
No, he's not. I think Brad understands that things have to change because to have this system, you have to have elite shooters. The Celtics don't have elite shooters. Like, as much as Jason has a beautiful shot, it doesn't go in. He's 34% from 3. That's below league average. Jason as a rookie was 43%. He has progressively gotten worse, and I think it's probably the bulkiness, the weightlifting, and all that, like his structure. Jalen's never been a plus 3-point shooter. Jalen's streaky. Like Marcus Smart streaky. Like
the Laker?
Yeah, like Marcus. I saw Marcus hit 11 threes in a game, and I've seen him go 0 for 11.
Franchise record.
That's what Jaylen is. Jason is. He can go. He can hit some big ones, but generally he's going to go 4 for 12 as he did in Game 6, or 5 for 12, which is like, that's
12's too many too, because he just takes the what the hell I'm going to tee this up one. Yeah,
he won't. He doesn't. And this year it was the injury and not wanting to deal with the physicality, but he settles a lot because I think Jason wants to be known as a 3-level scorer. He wants to be known as this like elite 3-point shooter. And it's like, Jason, you're 9 years in, man. You ain't it. Unless he worked on his mechanics, unless you get a real shooting coach, and I'm sure he gets all of the guys in there that really help him, it just isn't working. So I think Brad's open to it because you don't have elite shooters to carry out this game plan. You don't have the guy that's just like, oh, God, you like, besides Peyton, and Peyton is good, but Paul George shot 55% from 3 in the series.
Peyton had a tough series other than one game.
Peyton is, but they don't have the elite shooters to carry this out, so you're going to lose.
So then it doesn't seem like Mazzulla is in trouble now. It wouldn't be the first time in history that Coach of the Year got fired. The Raptors did it not too long ago, but it doesn't seem like the Celtics are going to go there. But
the guy who just beat the Celtics.
Yeah, that's right. But do you think that Mazzulla will finally be on the hot seat next year?
I think everybody's on the hot seat. I think Brad goes to Joe and says, this can't happen again. Like, I think the organization's embarrassed. I think they're stunned. I think they thought that they had this series won. They were getting ready for the Knicks. Because even I don't know how Chad feels. If they lost the Knicks in 6, I don't think Celtic fans would have been like, I hate this team. They would have been like, you know what? They did it with Jason coming off the injury, the young guys, cutting salary. They did as much as they've reached there because the Knicks are now playing like world beaters, right? So if they lose the Knicks series, I don't think there is any type of, I'm not saying they wouldn't be disappointment, but it wouldn't be like, oh, they blew it, even though they're the 2 seeded. But the Knicks are
basically as far as they got last year with a more star-studded roster.
The Knicks are playing well. They've got all-stars. They've got, guys at every position. The Celtics don't. I think there would have been kind of a gray set. But losing a 3-1 lead, and then the biggest...
The way they lost it, too, yeah.
The biggest thing to me with Mazzulla was not preparing for Joel Embiid. I don't think they thought he was going to play in this series. I think the appendicitis, and then he looked really a shell of himself in Game 4. So they thought, we got this. They have played against this guy for 10 years, okay? He's been in their division. They know what he looks like. It was like he came off another planet and just flew in, and they were like, what do we do? Who is this guy? Like, you've never game planned for him? You don't know how to play him? You don't know his strengths and weaknesses? Like, no, you don't guard him one-on-one and let him catch the ball 3 feet from the paint. You don't foul him on loose ball. Like, you don't touch him. He flops. He gets the calls.
He falls all the time.
He's a champion faller. Like that's his hobby. So, and he gets a lot of calls. So, like, it was like they had never played against him. I truly believe they did not game plan or prepare for him. They thought they were getting Philly with a dim Bona as their starting center. And as you see, Bona barely played when Embiid came back. Like, that changed the series.
So you said something interesting. You said the Celtics, did you use the word embarrassed about their performance? I mean, I think if you looked at the beginning of the year when Tatum's out with an Achilles, you don't know how long he's going to be back, to say you got the second seed, you won 56 games and made the playoffs, I think you say, okay, it was a bridge year and it's pretty good. But this is a huge wasted opportunity for them. The East is wide open. They were phenomenal all season. What kind of perspective, first of all, does this put the regular season in for you? And truly, like, how much of a missed opportunity do you think they think this whole thing is right now?
Okay, the thing is now, next regular season's useless. They could win 75 games, and people are like, what are you going to do in the playoff? Are we going to win the first-round series? Are you going to lose at home again? Like, next regular season is simply practice. It's scrimmage because their time is a year from now. Like, no one cares about this team before April 15th. Like, it's going to be Patriots talk, Patriots draft talk, spring training.
Vrabel Rossini.
Yes. Oh,
maybe,
boy.
Maybe. No, but to your point, Brad dropped a great stat today about how they were only 3-14 against the top 3 seeds.
3-11. And yeah.
You mentioned that a couple times.
Yeah, and then losing at home. Like, so to me, I tend to think that you can look at this season as a success in terms of growing guys. But the question is, are the guys who grew with you going to be pieces? Is Jordan Walsh going to be
like cornerstone
a regular
types?
guy?
Yeah.
Probably not. Like, is he probably going to play with another franchise? Baylor Shireman might be the only one.
I think Hugo might be.
Hugo and Baylor. Luka Garza, you developed him. He's a third-string center. That's why he didn't play in Minnesota. He didn't play in Detroit. And he's improved, but he's not a backup center. He's a third. So, hey, we developed our third center this year. Like, is that, Keita, hey, we developed our backup center. Like, you need another starting center. So it certainly is held devalues the regular season when you lose like this. The problem with me is the optics. The optics of Tatum talking to Embiid after Game 7 and laughing, and on NBC the cameras and tables. oh, Joel, like, dude, you sat out and missed Game 7. Your team is out of the playoffs. Ain't nothing funny. Even if it's funny, it don't look good. Then Jaylen, a day later, blames the refs and says, this is my favorite season ever.
Favorite season
ever. Like, the optics. Or Joe says, everything's duality. I felt just as bad about winning the championship year as I did. What? Like so Brad was the only, like, Derek was down and Peyton was down, the guys we talked to, and Brad
was crushed. Yeah.
But like Joe was kind of like he went Confucius on us.
He's never going to admit it.
Yeah, it's like
never.
You felt as bad in 24 as you do now. What the hell is that? Like, you fake it. Say, like, we can't have this happen. Make the fans who live and die with this stuff,
that ninja stuff,
feel
that he
better,
does.
as opposed to like the kung fu stuff, the the Miyagi stuff.
So that, I mean, this is all really interesting because if this is how the power structure is going to react to a major collapse, if they're just going to act kind of wacky, and this is the third time in 4 years that they've met, I mean, is this a power structure worth salvaging, or should they consider like blowing up at least one big piece of it?
Well,
Chad doesn't want that.
No, I don't.
I think that they need I mean, and I think they need another leader in the locker room, right? Like, I wrote, and people ripped me for this, that they should have retired. They should retire Marcus Smart's number. Not because of his dedication to the organization for 9 to 10 years, but he changed the culture of the organization after the departures of Pierce, Garnett, and Allen.
Brad's second year, right?
Yeah,
That's when he got here.
He gave them an identity, and he sacrificed his body, all the injuries he went through for the organization. But also, he was a leader. And sometimes people didn't like his leadership, and his teammates didn't like his leadership. But all those times when young Jason and young Jaylen wasn't going to take the big shot, Marcus was like, F it. I'll take it.
Gladly.
Ball always found him,
whenever,
too.
Yes. Whenever you need it.
And everybody ripped Marcus, but, I always admired him because, he's the only one who's stepping up. The other guy, they need another Marcus. And I'm not talking about, a guy who takes a lot of threes. No. But just kind of, that leadership. To me, a guy would be perfect would be like a Bobby Portis. Like a vet who's going to, pull guys aside and be like, this is not what we're doing.
Are they going to listen to him? Jaylen will be in year 10 and Tatum year 9.
I think that they've got to. I think, quite honestly, Chad, they have to. There's guys that they respect, but I don't know whether. I think Jason's a quiet leader, but Jason's guys on the team are more like Nick Sang and the team
it's like Javonte Green and Lamar Stevens.
Yeah, he has. I don't know how much, and I'm not saying Jason's a bad leader. I just don't know how much of a vocal leader that he is to say, hey, MFs, this, we're playing terribly. We got to, Game 6, they just look like they just weren't there. That doesn't, we're two veterans. They didn't play we got to have this game. No, we're playing. I just see they've got to have some structural changes in leadership. And they need to add another coach. Somebody in there has got to be held accountable, and it can't just be Joe.
Yeah, all right. That's really good stuff, Gary. I want to talk more about Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown, I just absolutely loved what he accomplished during the regular season. I'm kind of incensed that he's only 4th in the MVP race. His leadership this year was phenomenal. That said, when he first made that comment during the season that this was the most fun he ever had, playing basketball, that to me was an eyebrow-raising statement. To make it the day after you've been eliminated from the first round, to me, is mind-blowing. I can't believe, A, he feels that way, and B, especially after he's already won a title, and B, he would say that publicly. What's up with him and Jason Tatum? I mean, is this something that we need to be concerned with going forward, whether these guys can still coexist? Because, it's an obvious implication that the most fun he ever had was the season that Jason Tatum wasn't there. So just what do you make of all that, Gary?
Okay. Their relationship, it's layered, okay? They're friends. They're cool. They understand how important each other is to others' success. Mm. Are they inseparable off the floor? No. Jason's got 2
Which
kids.
Is fine.
Yeah. Jason's got, we think.
It's not Kobe Shaq.
Yes, it's not Kobe Shaq. And remember, for the old schoolers, Bird and Mikal were not close. They were close on the floor. All they need to be is, and I think Jason and Jaylen have a healthy respect for each other. They know we're going down in this Celtic history together. When there's going to be my name mentioned, there's going to be your name mentioned.
Yep.
Whenever we retire, they're probably going to retire our numbers on the same day.
The Jays.
Yes. They're going down together. It's too late now. Jaylen can leave next. There's still going to be. It's 9 years for a duo to be together is an eternity in professional basketball, and in most sports.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
And similar with how the Patriots kept it together. Credit the Celtics. Credit Tatum and Brown for keeping it together.
So I think that there is a closeness and there's a respect there. I think Jaylen, decided this year, I'm just going to be honest and keep it real, and I'm tired of people saying that I'm unfriendly, I'm unapproachable, that I'm surly, that I'm mean, that I got an attitude. So I'm just going to do these live streams, and I'm going to tell you about my life, and I'm going to open up, and I'm going to bring people on, and I'm going to have a good time.
It's going to have Jordan Walsh standing in the background.
Yeah. He's going to, That was his thing. So I think that was enjoyable. I think him being a leader, a better leader, was enjoyable. I think the fact that they won more games when everyone was doubting, because Jaylen's heard all the criticism, starting with draft night when they were like, who is this guy? And they booed because everybody thought they should take Chris Dunn.
Buddy Hield.
Yeah, and Buddy Hield. Yeah. How'd that work out? So I think Jaylen's taken all that internally and now has proved the naysayers wrong, at least in the regular season, and was like, this is my favorite season. I don't think he's like a diss on Jason, because he also called Jason the team's best player. He's also went up to Jason during the game 6 and said, hey, I see, I got George. Like,
that was cool.
They're good, but I think there's kind of a cluelessness in this particular situation with Jaylen and the timing. If Jaylen goes up next month and says, man, I had fun this season, it's a little, the disappointment's a little lower. Everybody's, people are thinking about Patriots offseason conditioning, the new first-round pick from Utah. The Sox are maybe playing a little bit better. Like, everybody's scattered, right?
That ain't happening.
Yeah, maybe. So, but less than 24 hours, it's a terrible look. And I think the team probably told Jaylen, like, you can't do that anymore.
Come on,
so
man.
His timing's got to be better. I think their relationship is fine. I don't think he's unhappy, but I do think he feels like there's some luxuries that have probably been afforded Jason that haven't been afforded him that annoys him.
Do you think he would be open to, if they came to him and said, hey, we're gonna send you to Milwaukee for Giannis and you can have your own team in Milwaukee? Do you think he'd be open to that? I think
he wants to win. I don't think he wants to play in a brutally cold city and just win 38 games a year but be the number one guy and put up numbers. I think he wants to win. I think he likes it here. I think he's invested here. Like, he's done what other
values the history.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, he does. He's invested in the black community in terms of like the economic structure. Like, he has not, like, to me, that he has tried to invest in this community. He's done community events. A lot of the star players, and I don't know about the Patriots. I don't know how many like communities things that Tom Brady did around Boston, but the star players generally don't do that stuff. Jaylen's giving away shoes and going to YMCA's and Roxbury. Like, to me, that's invested in the community. I think he wants to be acknowledged for that. Like, he was the number 8 guy of the most influential Bostonians. Like, I think he's invested, and I think he's like, can you see that I'm trying to invest in this city? Like, damn.
Time and money.
Yeah, you guys got me.
I do respect that a lot.
You guys got my bags packed, and he got his house broken into a year plus ago when he was on the road. Like, he could be but I think he wants respect for that, and I think that the lack of respect is the only thing I think that would quote unquote push him out. And these younger guys, lack of respect is like their perception of respect and regard is different than the athletes of previous generations. Like, they look at things differently. It's not money for them. It's a little bit more. Jaylen got the max. Like, he can't look at things a certain way, but there's certain things I think he views as he needs more credit for.
He's been slighted. He says that sometimes.
Yeah, he feels, I think, totally.
Wouldn't be the first athlete to have a chip on his shoulder, certainly. All right, let's transition real quick now to Jason Tatum. Chad, I had this crazy hot take a few months ago saying the Celtics were playing so well.
I don't remember your hot takes.
That it's too many to keep track of. That Tatum should sit out. That it's
the whole year.
It's going to mess up the flow. It's not worth it. Like, take a gap year. Frankly, I thought they should tank and get a lottery pick, but that's a different
I
take.
wrote that at the start of the year.
You know what? And I felt like I was eating crow for a long time because I thought Jason Tatum's comeback was very impressive. The minutes, the numbers, the way he worked his way back into the conditioning was very impressive. And then the first few games in the playoffs, it all looked good. And then we see how it ends up. He couldn't play Game 7. He had some new knee injury that's probably, from compensating from.
Do you buy the knee thing? It's calf, right?
I think it's a calf.
Yeah.
Okay. But so you're allowed to just misname injuries.
Well, they left him off the injury report after he was getting his calf stretched.
Okay.
So.
All right. Fair enough. That's good info.
Something Belichick would do.
Now that we've seen how how it ended, and we saw how poorly, obviously, the season ended. Does it make you reevaluate how they brought Tatum back?
Only in one way. They absolutely should have brought him back because it got him over those the concerns that he would have had playing in Madison Square Garden, where the injury happened. He cleared that hurdle.
You think he's a little bit happy that he doesn't have to go through that again?
Maybe they would have got pasted in that series because we saw, not to go off on a tangent, but we saw when they played the Knicks the last game of the regular season, he couldn't get by Anunoby, and that wasn't going to change. He just doesn't have that last burst back yet. Maybe he gets it back next year. Maybe he doesn't. He's still super efficient, but he played great. And that is kind of has to be a huge relief to him. So you don't have to deal with that next year. But the frustrating thing, there are two frustrating things that happen with this. Joe played him way too much. Games 2 through 5, he averaged 39.3 minutes, which is insane for the buildup that he had of 15, 16 regular season games, where it wasn't a bunch of minutes at first. The other thing that happened was he went back to playing Jason Tatum's way, which is a lot of iso ball. He's great at it. There are very few players that can do it as well as he does, but that got them into my turn basketball. When he first came back, those first few games, he was trying to be a facilitator as he got his legs under him. He kind of leaned on Jaylen a little bit. Jaylen loved that, and it looked like it was really going to work that way. And then Tatum, for better or worse, got back into his old habits. And I think that was a big part of what went wrong with their offense in the Sixers series was they just got too dependent on those guys winning mismatches that weren't really mismatches. Like Maxey held up well against Jaylen when he had him on him.
Yeah, it wasn't. They aren't athletic enough.
Yeah, what's your take on that?
I think Jason should have come back. I think it was a successful endeavor, but I agree with Chad. Joe played him too many damn minutes.
Way too much.
He played 32 minutes a game. I think his average last year was 34-35 before the injury. He played him 32 during the 16-game stretch, and he played him 36 or 37 during the playoffs.
And buried the bench guys at the same time.
Yes, and I just think that there should have been he didn't play in back-to-backs, but I think there should have been some games where it's just like, Jason, you're just not going to play. Take 3 to 4 days off and then come back and get practice in. There just should have been some limits there. And Joe used him like he was normal Jason. And Jason was like, I'm so happy to play that I'll play, 200 minutes. And it ended up burning them at the worst possible time. Now, a lot of readers are sitting me, Mikhail played on a broken ankle.
Do you read the comments?
Yeah.
I don't.
Bird
Never.
Bird broke his,
Bird stuff.
Damian broke his chin against Indiana and came back into the game. And so there's people challenging Jason's toughness. Could he have played? And I think they had to watch. I think the Celtics understood if anything major happens, we're never hearing the end of this. It
costs them next year.
If he risks any, because their whole thing is
a re-tear. I mean, Deshaun Watson retore his
exactly
Achilles.
In a workout, right? It wasn't even a game. 26-27 is the year that they've been focused on. Get Jason right. Bring Jaylen will be back. Let's get under the luxury tax, under the first apron. Let's reset. And now, boom, we can make a run. And now, with this elimination, there's even more of a sense of urgency for next year because their window of Jason and Jaylen is not going to last forever. It's not. They don't have 5 to 6 more years.
Right.
One's Jaylen will be 30 in October. Jason will be 29, just turned 28. And so they've got 2 to 3 more years before you've got to get younger, or they've got to find that 21-year-old who's like, all right, I'm taking the reins. I'm taking pressure off you. That's not Jordan Walsh.
No.
Sure.
For
the record, if they listen to me and just tank the season, this would be a great lottery to be in right now. They can have a nice young running mate for these guys. All right, we're running out of time, so these are kind of quick. First of all, you mentioned, I'm curious, do you foresee any roster moves just for the sake of cutting salary this year?
No, I don't. Vucevic is the only unrestricted free agent. I don't think he'll be back. They have a mid-level. They have flexibility. They have a $27 million trade exception. They have a $15 or $15 million mid-level. That I think they should go and just bring Simons back because I think he fit in so well.
Yep.
He's making 20. He made 27. He's not going to make 27 in an open market. You give him some security and make him feel comfortable. This is your role, Anthony. I think they should bring him
He's
back.
a shooter, too.
But no dismantling?
No. Well, I think that they'll look to move potentially Derek and Sam Hauser. Like, is Sam Hauser the type of absolute great three-point shooter that you can't get rid of?
Shyman had a better percentage this year.
I don't know. Like, does Sam do enough stuff other than shoot threes? He doesn't get to the free throw line at all. He doesn't get to the rim, and he's not like you could look and say, you know what? I think we need an upgrade here, or we need.
He'd have appeal too in the trade.
We'll get someone who might not be as good a three-point shooter, but can defend, get to the rim, and who's an athlete.
Sam Hauser, my neighbor, by the way, see him tooling his newborn baby in a crib around.
You yell at him to make a shot once in a while.
Wow, you live in that kind of neighborhood?
Yeah. You know, I don't know what the Globe pays you, but it's pretty well over here.
Yeah.
Chad, what's one
Ron Harper's neighborhood?
Chad, give me one roster move that you kind of expect or expect or would like to see or something like that this offseason.
Max deal for Vucevic. No, he'll be gone. Like Wash said, absolutely, it didn't work out. You really got a good look at why hasn't won a playoff series since his rookie year of the Sixers in like 2010 or 11 or something like that. Just not a winning player. I don't think they shed too much. I mean, I'm with Gary. Like they might look at trading White. I think they will investigate trading Jaylen because this is his peak.
Other than Giannis, who like what's out there? Sabonis, I hear, but
no, never.
He's got a knee.
No
injury.
way.
If you wanted to call Houston for Kevin Durant,
no,
right?
I mean,
Ime loves him.
Yeah, like
Utah, Charlotte.
How about Thompson? Give me Thompson from Houston. I'll take him.
Yeah, I will take. And then, but
yeah, me too.
Houston would have to send a whole load because Thompson doesn't make that much.
No.
So you're trading for a $50 million player, so you got to match salaries.
Yeah, he's 60 in 3 years.
Yeah, that's the difficult part of this whole thing. It would take a team that looks and goes like Washington got Anthony Davis and Trae Young through trades because no one goes to Washington
willingly
for free agency. It is the Siberia of NBA teams. So they say that for us to get stars in their prime or near their prime, we've got to trade. So it would take like a Utah, Portland, a team that's like, we got the money, we just to spend, no one's going to take our money, so we'll trade you this.
We're a piece away.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that would be the method there.
Last thing from each of you. The Celtics would have beaten the Sixers if?
Mazzulla had better game plans in terms of preparing for Joel Embiid, and the team actually focused in Game 5 and didn't start playing around with the game and joking and laughing and doing their lack of – that's the thing about leadership.
Around, you know?
The lack of focus.
Up 13.
Yeah, the lack of focus, the lack of killer instinct. I'll take a pull-up 30-footer because we're up 12. Hey, we're not going to lose this game, right?
Yeah.
How did that work out?
You have any other thoughts there, Chad?
How they win that series is Embiid has appendicitis again. I mean, when he came back, he was terrible in the first game, and then all of a sudden he's Joel Embiid, and Kata's not an answer for that. And none of their other bigs were, and that shifted the series, and they didn't handle it well. I'm with Wash. They weren't prepared for it.
Yeah. All right, what can readers expect from you guys in the pages of the Globe the next few days? What do you got cooking, Gary?
Analysis of Brad's press conference. Also going to, ask around the league what other analysts think the Celtics need. There's a lot of voices about the three-point shooting that they're getting hammered on.
Yeah.
And also started to prepare for the draft. They have the 27th pick. Could they trade up? The price of trading up, because now these teams are not going to, some of these teams need another first-round pick like a hole in the head because they've taken so many. But others are like, it's going to take a lot for us to give because it's such a good draft, starting with Brockton's A.J. Demander.
There you go. And What about you, Chad? Just more booing the Red Sox these days? What are you up to?
Yeah, I think I'm going to rip them for how they handled Roman Anthony this year, but I got to run that one by the editors. Maybe some more Celtics because that stuff's resonating.
Yeah,
people are mad. People are pissed.
Yeah, it's been nearly a week, and to me, it's still a real hot story and the talk of the town. So this has been fantastic. Gary Washburn, Chad Finn, thanks so much for your insight. Tremendous stuff. I am Ben Volin. This has been the Boston Globe Sports Report podcast edition. Check us out next time when we're going to be talking, I guess, about the Red Sox because they're the only team still going on these days. All right, everybody. Thanks a lot for stopping by.